Hey guys, welcome to my first YouTube video. Today we are going to do a very quick World Cup group stage, it's a World Cup prediction really, isn't it? Because I think this includes the knockouts as well. We're not going to waste any time, we're going to go straight into it because I don't want this video to be 30 minutes in length. Probably will, we'll see. We're going to start with Group A. Now Group A I think is the group of death. I think it's a group, it is, right? We have Mexico, South Africa, Korea Republic, and the winner of European Playoff D, which is Denmark, North Macedonia, Czechia, and Ireland. I'm going to go ahead and assume Denmark wins. Since the most obvious one. So we're going to go ahead and assume Denmark wins. And the reason I say this is a group of death is because Mexico, South Korea, and Denmark, they are all very evenly matched. Okay, they are. So, but with that being said, I think when it comes down to it, I think Korea tops the group. And Mexico, Denmark, and South Africa. Here's the thing: Mexico and Korea is so evenly matched, right? But I don't know. I just think the Korea's best players are better than Mexico's, and I think the more Korean players play at a top level than Mexicans. Off the top of my head, the best Mexican player, and this is probably just exposing my lack of ball knowledge, but Santiago Jimenez, versus Son, who full well knows this is going to be his last World Cup, or at least last World Cup where he's at a good level. You know what I mean, right? Yeah. I suspect Denmark will beat South Africa. Yeah, I mean, look, South Africa are vibes, but they even still they scraped top of their group in qualifying. It was not comfortable, and it didn't help that they got a 3-point deduction for being a bunch of melts. Group B, Canada, winner of European Playoff A, which will be Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, or Bosnia and Herzegovina, Qatar, and Switzerland. I'm going to assume that Italy wins the playoff. I know they haven't got the best record in this situation, but yeah, right. So Switzerland top of group. They're consistent at major tournaments. The team is not great, right? But all round, like they have good players in every position, right? Then we're going to go with Italy. If they fail to qualify for a third World Cup in a row, just sack it off. Just give up. I'm going to go Canada third and Qatar fourth. Look, relative to Asia, Qatar is quite good, right? They won the Asian Championships quite recently. But the thing you got to understand is that it is by far the easiest out of all the confederations to qualify for the World Cup. And Qatar didn't do it at the earliest opportunity. So, yeah, don't get it twisted. Canada's team also reeks, but it's better than Qatar, and they have to get at least a win, right? I do think they will beat Qatar. I don't think they could forgive themselves otherwise. Group C, we have Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. Now, the thing is, right? Morocco are weirdly consistent. They are. Brazil top it, then Morocco, Scotland, Haiti. Haiti, you got to feel bad for Haiti. They've been put in a horrible group, and as of right now, their fans aren't even going to be able to watch their team play because Donald Trump barred them from entering the country. So that's really unfortunate. Morocco, the thing is, right, Scotland dropped points in silly situations, and they had to it was not exactly a cosy win against Denmark to get into the World Cup spots, to begin with. I think Haiti are going to get blown out every game. Brazil, I do think Brazil will pick up 9 points from 9, but it won't be comfortable. If I don't pick up 9, they'll pick up 7 and beat out Morocco on goal difference. Group D, USA, Paraguay, Australia, and winner of European playoff C, which will be Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, or Kosovo. I'm going to assume Turkey win it. And in that scenario, I'm going to go with USA first, because if they don't, they will be sentenced to summary execution. Turkey, Australia, and Paraguay. Australia and Paraguay are really, really evenly matched, in my opinion. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Turkey topped that group. The thing is, they're really, really weird when they make it to these tournaments. Like, I don't know what it is about them. In my memory, when I think of Turkey in major tournaments, I do think of an absolute choke, bottle job. So, I'm pretty comfortable with that. Germany, Curacao, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. Also, did you guys watch the World Cup draw, by the way? And the Canadian fella who couldn't pronounce a single country to save his life, and he pronounced Curacao Coroco. That I lost my mind when I heard him say Coroco. Now, this is a tough group. It is. I think Germany top it. They would expect to top this group. Ecuador versus Ivory Coast is a really, really tough one. I'm going to go with Ecuador. The thing is, do not sleep on Ecuador. For some reason, they play above the sum of their parts. They do. I'm not sure if I would be as bold as to say Ecuador is a dark horse, but do not sleep on Ecuador. Curacao, they just don't have a quality. You know, even in terms of like the top 3 teams, Ivory Coast are one of the better ones in my opinion. So yeah, they got given a tough hand there. Group F is Netherlands, Japan, winner of European playoff B, which will be Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, or Albania, and Tunisia. Now, my most recent memory of Tunisia is them bombing out I think they bombed out the group stage, no? Did they not get packed in most of every game? I don't remember. I don't overly remember. Right, we're going to go Netherlands to top it. Then Japan. The thing is, it wouldn't shock me if Japan beat the Netherlands. It would not shock me if Japan beat the Netherlands. It really wouldn't. Japan are, again, one of the more consistent teams in recent times in these major tournaments, so I am going to say second. Tunisia third, and then European playoff B. I don't even know who's going to win that. Maybe Ukraine. Honestly, if we're going on merit, probably Ukraine wins that. I mean, that's a really tasty European playoff, right? They're all equally as bad as each other, right? And I do think Tunisia are better. Honestly, Tunisia will probably draw against a European team and be third on goal difference. I don't see them conceding as much as the likes of Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, and Albania. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. This is tough. Belgium top the group. They should get 9 points from 9. No excuses whatsoever. I don't care if their team just isn't as good as it used to be. Iran second. Egypt versus New Zealand. That's a tough game. That is a tough one to predict. Egypt obviously have Mo Salah, but that's that's it. And New Zealand are going to have that dog in them. So do I favour Mo Salah or do I favour the dogs? I'm going to say Egypt. That's really close. It could go either way. Group H, Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Spain tops it. 9 points from 9, no excuses. Uruguay second, no excuses. Saudi Arabia have a better team than Cape Verde. However, Saudi Arabia, whilst they did beat Argentina last World Cup, they also got bombed out the group. So, do I think Saudi Arabia are going to show up for this one? No. I think Cape Verde gates through. I don't know if it'll be them on 3 points or it'll be a case of they have more goal difference than Saudi Arabia. I think Saudi Arabia bombs out the group again. Group I. France, Senegal, winner of Intercontinental Playoff 2, which will be Iraq, Bolivia, or Suriname, and Norway. This is fun. It is fun. Right. This is probably going to be the most entertaining group in the World Cup, by the way. Not necessarily in terms of quality, but in terms of, I reckon, like goals scored. I don't see this group's like being boring. This is going to be a fun group. It's not that easy, but France should get 9 points from 9 realistically. Senegal or Norway? Erling Haaland versus Nicholas Jackson, I suppose. Here's the thing: Norway's strengths are obviously far superior to Senegal. But if we're talking the overall squads, Senegal are better than Norway, right? So it's tough. Do you go Haaland to spearhead Norway to second, or Senegal's general team? I reckon Norway win them out. Senegal third. Iraq, Bolivia, Suriname, whoever makes it, you had a good innings. You're gonna get packed in. Try not to concede 10. Group J: Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Jordan. Yeah, Argentina got niced. They should easily win this. Austria versus Algeria. The thing is, right? Neither of these teams are making it far in the tournament, right? Austria. I don't think Jordan's doing anything. I really don't. I'm happy that they made it there. Maybe they can sneak a couple goals in. I don't see them doing anything this tournament. I would love to be proven wrong though. Group K: Portugal, winner of Intercontinental Playoff 1, which is Dr. Congo, Jamaica, New Caledonia, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. This could potentially be a group of death as well. It could. I'm going to assume that Congo. Well, sorry, I should. Dr. Congo. Should probably clear that one up. I'm going to assume that Dr. Congo wins out. And this is really tough. I'm going to go Portugal top it. I mean, their midfield's it is so good. Their team is good. I'm going to go Colombia, Dr. Congo, Uzbekistan. This is going to be a tight group. Like Uzbekistan, if they finish on 0 points, they're not going to have anything less than like a -4 goal difference. Like it'll look like a blowout, but it won't be. You know what I mean? Colombia. I'm going to say Colombia's the dark horse. I forgot how the knockouts work, so I could make myself look an idiot. I think Colombia are dark horses. I do. Their team is good, and they have been playing well as of late. If it's not Ecuador, I'm going with Colombia. Colombia is my dark horse pick. Group L: England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama. Fun. Now, England actually got stiffed in this a little bit. I think Croatia and Panama were the highest rated in their pots, or one of the highest rated in their pots. I don't quite remember. England should top that group, 9 points from 9. Look, Croatia are a very good team. I'm not going to say they're my dark horses because I'm sorry, they've performed very well for the last 3 or 4 major tournaments. They're not dark horses anymore. They're a known entity. You know what I mean? Ghana versus Panama is going to be a close one. Look, Panama's team is better than Ghana's. It just is, right? It is. However, And this is going to be a controversial thing to say. I know it's going to be a controversial thing to say, and I might get told off for saying it, right? I think Ghana are going to do what they did last World Cup cycle and hire some Europeans to push them over the edge against Panama. But don't get it wrong, that's going to be a really close game. The best third place teams are balls. Okay, right, hang on, let me look at the groups again. So Denmark will win, so we're going to go, Denmark. Who else do I see getting a win? Canada and Scotland will win their games. Ivory Coast, Senegal, Algeria. That's tough. This is hard. Okay. I need to pick 2 more teams, do I? You know what? Egypt and Cape Verde. Sure. Alright, let's go straight to the knockouts. Germany, Scotland. Germany should win that one. France, Egypt. Egypt will get blown out by 5 goals. Mexico versus playoff A. Why did I choose 3 playoff teams? I forgot who's who. No, playoff A is Italy. Mexico, Italy vibes. Netherlands, Morocco. That's a very fun game. I don't rate the Netherlands, but I don't rate Morocco either. Netherlands. Colombia, Croatia. That would be such a fun game. And you know what? I said they were dark horses. We're going Colombia. Realistically, the only correct answer is to say Croatia there. I'm going Colombia. Spain, Austria, easy. USA, Canada, that would be such a good game. USA. Belgium versus Turkey. Belgium, Turkey. See, the Belgian team's not that good. The Belgian team isn't that good. I can see Turkey winning that. We're not bold enough. We're going to go Belgium. Brazil, Japan. Now, if you know ball, you know Japan patterned. They packed Brazil up, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Brazil. They packed them up in a friendly. Friendlies mean nothing, right? Japan are consistent. Brazil are arguably the better team. Honestly, Japan could easily win that, but I'm going to go with Brazil. Ecuador, Norway. I mean, name me 5 Ecuador, like 5. Name me 3 Ecuadorian defenders. Like Haaland's going to win that one. Korea, Cape Verde, Korea. England, Senegal. Senegal has packed up England in a friendly, but it's a friendly. It means a whole lot of nothing. England should win that one. Not comfortably, but they should win that one. Argentina, Uruguay. That is a fun game. Argentina. It'll be close. It'll be like a 5-3, right? Playoff C versus Iran. Alright, it turns out I got it wrong. Playoff D was Denmark, not Turkey. But it doesn't change anything because Denmark is still getting packed up by Belgium. This is Turkey. Turkey versus Iran. There's honestly a very, very close game as well. I'm going to go with Turkey. I'm going to say Turkey. Switzerland, Algeria. Switzerland are just weirdly consistent. I'm going to go Switzerland. And Portugal, Ivory Coast. I'm going to go Portugal. Round of 16. Germany, France. The correct answer is France, but it wouldn't shock me if France, beat French and they bomb out this tournament. I'm going to go France, but, Mexico, Netherlands. I just don't rate the Netherlands. I'm sorry, guys. I do not rate the Netherlands that highly. That they could very easily make it to the semis, right? I don't think so. Mexico. Colombia, Spain. I know I call them dark horses, but they're not good enough to be the best team in the world right now. So, yeah. USA, Belgium. I don't rate Belgium. I know they're consistent. I don't rate Belgium. And I think the USA are going to have that dog in them. I'm gonna say USA. This is I've lost all my credibility in one video, haven't I? Brazil, Norway, Brazil, Haaland. Probably get the golden boot just on the group stage alone, but they're not beating out Brazil. No chance. Korea, England, probably an extra time win for England, or just a scrappy 1-0 in normal time. Argentina, Turkey, Argentina. Switzerland, Portugal. Portugal. I know, honestly, Switzerland have a good chance of winning that, but then I don't think so. Not this time. France, Mexico, France. Right, I'm not that bold. Right, I'm not that bold. Spain, USA. Again, I'm not that bold. Spain. Brazil, England. I just think England are going to have a better squad. The Brazil FA like to force managers to call up X amount of Brazilian League players, and that's going to cost them because Brazilian League players just aren't going to be as good as any English player playing in the Premier League, right? They're just not. And that sort of lack of squad depth, quality squad depth, is going to cost them. Argentina, Portugal. Honestly, genuinely, I'm going to say Portugal. No thanks to Ronaldo, but let's be honest, Portugal have a better squad. I'm sorry, but they do. France, Spain. Here's the thing, right? Who's scoring a goal in the pivotal moment for Spain? Don't give me Lamine Yamal rubbish, right? Because no, I don't think so. France. I think it'll be it's like Spain, France going to want to go. It's either going to be a 1-0 snooze fest where both teams are terrified, or a 5-4. Both defences have decided to retire. You know what I mean? England, Portugal. That is a fun game. England. No bias there whatsoever. I'm gonna go England. Look, honestly, it wouldn't shock me. It went to extra time. Yeah, I mean, again, England just have better depth in my opinion. France versus England. Listen, right? If I'm right and we go to extra time against Portugal, we have a 1 day less rest. So solely on that, no footballing reason, France are the World Cup winners. France, well done, you've won the World Cup, and that is coming from a professional genius. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you'd liked it, please do consider liking and subscribing. I'm going to do this concept for AFCON as well. And I'm just going to be covering a bunch of different football topics. Going to do a lot more predictions, all of that. A lot of fun stuff. So I hope you guys will stick around to watch our channel explode at some point. Maybe I'll get to call James Alcott-Abora onto his face. That's all from me, guys. Have a lovely rest of your day. Goodbye.